Well, I have one last NFL thing to talk about because I listen to Bill Burr's podcast a lot, which I already have mentioned. And he, around this time of year, bitches relentlessly on every single episode about how the NFL championships prior to the Super Bowl don't count because people don't really talk about them. Like when they talk about, I think like the Packers, for example, like they'll say they've won Super Bowls. Yeah, they won the first two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So like talk about how many Super Bowls they won, but not how many NFL championships that they've won total. And this really annoys him and gets under his skin. He's always asking, why don't they count? Why don't the NFL championships count? So I just wanted to bring that to the table. Do any of you guys like really feel annoyed by that? Is that something that you think is a
by
thing?
What he's saying, or
No, it sounds like disgruntled Giants fan talk to me. They were great in 1927.
But the funny thing is, he's supposedly a Patriots fan.
Yeah, he has to be, right?
Yeah.
I thought he was an Eagles fan.
No.
Why did I think
No. Well, because he did there was this, one of the things he's most famous for was he went out in Philadelphia one time.
And he started trashing the
Yeah,
crowd.
because like whoever was going on after him was who the crowd wanted to see.
Yeah.
So he just started berating the
That was a
crowd and
great-
just
Yes.
like
That was a great
insulting him. It was actually really good. That's one of the most famous things he's done. But I mean,
I think it's all. I mean, it's technicality, right? Like,
I think it's marketing, right? Because like you want to make the Super Bowl seem big.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, it's like fucking it's 55 years ago or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
are you really gonna care that much about who won the NFL title back then? I mean, also too, were there really like playoff games back then, or was it just whoever had the best record?
I don't know. I think it shifted. I think right before the Super Bowl, it was kind of the same way. I could be wrong, but I know back before then, it was just like best record essentially. Because I know like the Packers like first championship or whatever was just like they had like a 13-0 season, and like I think like the second best team was like 12-1.
Right. So I don't know.
I think the Super Bowl started as more like an exhibition game too, right? Between the AFL and the NFL, to kind of
Right,
see
because
who was the
they
best
were still
FL.
independent then, right? That's like before they merged.
Yeah, they were all their own leagues.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy to think about because it's hard to imagine. Like, I don't know if the XFL started up. Like, it's hard to imagine them partnering with the NFL.
Well, the way I understand it was that it was kind of like rival networks. Like CBS had the NFL, and then NBC had the AFL. So that's why, like, the AFL, I think, kind of got its start because also the NFL was more like, you know, Midwest, Northeastern areas. So people started kind of moving larger populations towards like the West. They needed like more teams, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know if it would, because then you'd have to put all the AFL championships in there too. So there'd be like co-champions for those years, which would be weird.
But like, so Ethan, as a Packers fan, does it bother you that people say, do you know how many Super Bowl titles they have?
5, I think.
I don't know where my fucking phone is. But yeah,
no, 4. Sorry.
Does it bother you that like their number doesn't get more inflated, or we're not looking at the full picture of how many NFL titles that they won also?
I mean, it kind of bothers me. In a sense, though, it's all very odd because, like, there's always some degree of, like, it all just being arbitrary anyway. Because, like, even something like the Rams-Pats game, you know, that, like, possibly not existing because if the refs got that one call right, and then the Saints, who were probably going to play a lot better than the Rams did. So, like, there's a bunch of, like, stuff behind the scenes. But regarding, like, just counting, like, former
it's just
titles.
Like counting, essentially.
Yeah.
Because
I don't understand why people, like, get in such a big, like,
wow, they
fit
won
about
13 NFL championships. Holy shit. So
well, that's including Super Bowls.
You especially should care.
That's including Super Bowls.
No. They won, okay, yeah, you're right. They won 11 before the Super Bowl. 29, 30, 31, 36, 39, 44, 61, 62, 65, 66, 67.
But they're not
no,
Super
66
Bowls.
and 6. No, we won 4 Super Bowls. 66, 67.
You got second place.
Oh, they won.
11
Okay,
times.
so those years.
Favre won one
Well,
in 95.
So maybe,
and then
hold on,
Rodgers.
I think we have the answer. This
What?
may be the key to Bill Burr's whole answering Bill Burr.
Second.
Because 66 and 67, the Packers were the NFL champions, and they were also the Super Bowl champions. So you'd have to, like,
Right.
add that on top of it.
Oh, did that count twice?
Yeah, well, it would in that case. So
And-
maybe that's why they don't count it.
And
because-
like I was saying, you'd have to assume there was AFL champions those years too, so
Right.
there'd have to be like co-champions for each of those years when they were
Gotcha,
still
okay.
separate leagues.
so there you go. That's why it doesn't count.
Yeah,
That makes
because they
perfect
changed
sense.
the whole thing. It's
Call him
like,
up and tell him.
the American League and the National League, weren't they separate like way back when, before the World Series happened?
Yeah.
So like, why don't they have the National League champions count then?
Well, his whole thing that he bitches about is like, I guess I think the Lakers or some shit. I forget. I'm not a basketball fan at all. I think it's like the Lakers, like their ABA championships count or something like that. So
Oh, is that why they won 40 titles or whatever?
Yeah. It's like, why do those count and why don't the NFL titles count? But that's why, because of the Packers, because of the fucking Packers.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
the
come
Bears,
here
and
just
the
to have my
Bears.
team trash talk.